Hello everyone, welcome back to another Worm Wednesday. I'm your host Trix90, playing Worms WMD on the Xbox. I'm playing as the Blue Worms. This is 2x speed, 2-island map, pro scheme. Pretty normal layout as far as double islands go. I think the kind of weapons are centered middle right, and the buildings are kind of upper to left mid of the map. You can see there's a crash saucer both on the top of the map and one right next to this big robot. I think I got second pick, but my opponent didn't immediately see the game had started and maybe had a late entry into this and kind of just threw their worm. So I ended up kind of getting first pick, but I don't think I got the exact position I was looking to get because I was actually looking to go for that mech, all things considered. So really just trying to place my blue worms somewhere close to where my opponent has their worm and try and get that tank if I couldn't get the mech. This game will go pretty quick. I will try to keep the commentary on the lighter side. I know I'm usually rambling on all throughout, but I'm going to do a little bit of mixing commentary and non-commentary moments in this. I am intending in this first move to try to open up a alleyway where I can try to target my enemy worm, and I don't quite make the jump back into it. That was totally a mistake. Ultimately, a really good move by my opponent, managing to knock my worm off. I was expecting to get shot right into the water, but it didn't look like it was going to happen that way. I thought the wind was going to help me a little bit more on that turn, but I was still feeling pretty favorable about this game. You can see by the two ranks, if you don't know how Worms WMD goes, basically if you're seeing that picture of a meteor, whether it's gold or silver, that's kind of the top rank, and then the sheep is kind of a mid-ranked. So I'm playing as blue. I have the sheep, technically a lower rank than the opponent I'm playing, but I've beaten people who have Armageddon rank, silver Armageddon before, and I've definitely lost to people who have lower ranks than me. So you never really know what you're going to get into with these games. The idea with this was just to kind of put that worm in a hole. I know that it wouldn't be difficult for that red worm Tanner to get out of that hole. I just wanted to have them waste a ninja rope or something. But using that drill to both hurt my worm and manage to get a way out for Tanner, I think a brilliant move from my opponent. You see I switch. Basically, just duplicate exactly what I did before. You can see that I don't use auto turrets. I don't believe my opponent ends up using an auto turret either this game, which I'm very, very thankful for. I'm kind of wishing I would have held back on that worm select here because it would have been a lot more help for me to have switched to Frank. I was pretty happy with his damage I was able to get on these two other worms, but I should have held off. And it just goes to show you how important waiting is sometimes. Having patience. This game just did come off of the last game you might have seen last week. Super long game, ended up going like, I think something like 25, 30 minutes. So this game being high speed totally gave me whiplash. Very precise opponent I played against. Managing to knock that worm off. Quickly taking a significant lead over me. And now the positions of my worms are not looking as favorable as they were before. I figure I do have the turn advantage here. Now here you will again see another kind of mistake that I made in this game, and I only make one significant mistake, and here it is. We're gonna have to do a review of this gas grenade because even though it is one of the most crafted weapons by top ranked players, there's a way you can find out what weapons the top players are using most often, and often that gas grenade is seen the most. The problem with it is that if you get them caught in the center and they don't get hit by that cloud, even if they're hit by the shockwave and they're completely in the center, it will not poison them. And not that that would have made too much of a dramatic difference this game, tied with this next thing you're going to see here. Um, it did ultimately result in me losing a lot of potential points I could have gotten. Ultimately, I was just happy to hit Werberoni in here. But very quickly, this last worm is going to be in a very bad position. As you can see, using that tactic, having that worm get out, and then placing that dynamite in the correct position. Very good game from my opponent. GG all the way through. Very precise, very accurate. It just goes to show you the importance of patience and accuracy in this game. Thank you guys for joining me. Have a great week.